Hi everybody, welcome to tonight's video. I'm going to teach you how to make a cauliflower crust first, cauliflower pizza crust, and then I'm going to show you an option for topping that pizza crust for a barbecue or chicken bacon ranch barbecue pizza. You need, I apologize for my bowl already being used once, but I started to get this all ready and started mixing it together without thinking that I hadn't recorded yet. So I got one crust ready over here, as you can see, and I'm going to show you how we get to that point. I'm making 3 separate crusts for us for dinner tonight, so that's why I'm mixing it 3 separate times. Just a lot easier to keep it even. I have 1 cup of steamed riced cauliflower. You could also use raw cauliflower, riced cauliflower if you want. You can buy your own cauliflower, put it up in the food processor. If you buy the, if you buy the frozen, or you have frozen the raw like I do, you want to make sure you squeeze out the excess water. The more water it has in it, the longer it's going to take it to bake. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of egg beaters and a 1/4 cup of part skim mozzarella cheese, which is 5 grams of fat per 1/4 cup. Okay, this it gets stirred together, and I'm going to use just a couple dashes of Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. I'm not counting this as anything in the recipe because it has no calories, no carbs, and no sodium, just a little bit of potassium. It's just going to add some flavor to this cauliflower crust. If you want, you could use low-fat cheddar cheese in the crust. If you want to make more of a tortilla or a Mexican pizza, that would be really good, or reduced-fat Mexican shredded cheese mix. We have that at our local Kroger. You're just going to stir this together. Super simple. And then you're going to get whatever pan you're going to use. I like using my pizza stone, like I have this one on, and I like using this cast iron griddle because it's like a personal pan pizza size kind of thing. I'm covering it with parchment paper just to make it easier to flip and to bake, and it's also going to absorb some excess moisture. Spray it lightly with a little bit of cooking spray, and then I'm going to put the mixture into the center of the parchment paper. Really easy stir together pizza crust, and this pizza crust has to be pre-baked. So I have my oven preheated to 425. I have a convection oven, so I have it on 425 on the convection setting for multi-rack, so I can put these pizza crusts in all at the same time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my spatula to press this out into a circular shape. It doesn't have to be circular, you can make it rectangle, whatever the size of your pan might be. The thing you want to keep in mind is you want to make this pretty thin so it cooks through faster and more evenly, but you don't want there to be any holes. So it's real important that there aren't any holes. The cheese will melt some to fill in a little bit of hole. The egg will cook it together, but you want to get it pretty even so it's evenly cooked, and you don't want holes so that your toppings fall through whenever the pizza crust is cooked. Just going to keep making this circular and even, just like that. Okay, and then that is going to go into my oven for, oh goodness, I forgot to put down how much, for 20 minutes, and then we're going to flip it over and do it for another 10 minutes if the top is nice and golden. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the oven, and then I'll pick up when we flip them over so you can see what they look like, and then also for the toppings. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys my little trick, secret I've discovered about getting these to flip without them tearing apart. Take another piece of parchment paper, lay it on top, lay a dinner plate about the same size as your pizza crust centered on top of that. Pick up both pieces of parchment paper when you pick up the plate. So I'm going to get the opposite corners here so I can't do all 4 of them at once. Flip it over onto your plate. Slide that bottom sheet back on, peel the top one off, voila, ready to go back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Okay, so here's the pizza after another 8 to 10 minutes in the oven. Pizza crust, this is a tiny little crack here, not freaking out about it. You shouldn't either, just remember where it is. You can cut your pizza on that line when it's time. All right, I'm gonna top this pizza. Whoops, almost forgot. In this bowl, I have stirred together 1.5 plus 1/3 of tablespoons of sour cream times 3 for our pizzas. Now, that's a weird measurement. 1 tablespoon of sour cream equals a condiment. 1/2 tablespoon of sour cream and the 1/3 of a tablespoon of sour cream are the healthy fats from the lean part of the pizza, which is the chicken. The cheese falls under the lean category, so you can't have a full healthy fat, but you can have part of a healthy fat. So I'm going to put 1/3 of this on each of the pizzas. And in this sour cream, I have stirred in 1.5 teaspoons of Hidden Valley Ranch dry salad dressing mix. Sorry. So I'm going to take about 1/3 of this and put this on as my sauce. You could also use about 1/2 tablespoon and 1/3 of a tablespoon of light ranch salad dressing if you prefer to equal your healthy fat. But I was afraid it just wouldn't be enough to cover the crust. So I decided to try this instead, and it looks perfect. This recipe was inspired by a couple of different things. One of our local pizza places makes an excellent chicken bacon ranch pizza that you can get with barbecue sauce, and I always get barbecue sauce on the side and dip it. One of my really unhealthy habits that I've since changed. And also a Sandy's Kitchen recipe that was chicken barbecue pizza. But I've changed this to be a little bit closer to the Lloyd's version of chicken bacon ranch pizza with barbecue sauce that I like so much. And this is what I came up with. She doesn't use the sour cream and ranch. She uses something different. You can look her recipe up on Pinterest. So this is kind of a combination of her recipe and making it more like my hometown favorite. I also have 2 ounces of cooked chicken. Now I am just using Sam's Club chicken breast that comes in a can. This is really good canned chicken. I am not usually a big fan of canned chicken, but for the pizza, it's really good to use and simple to use because you can crumble it up if you want, make big pieces or smaller pieces. It's already cooked. I can get plenty of chicken to do all 3 of our pizzas and have a little left over, and it really has a good flavor. It's just like poaching chicken at home, honestly. It's really probably the best canned chicken there is out there. I make chicken salad with it all the time too because we like our chicken salad really fine. And we'll sprinkle that on there. And then I have a 1/2 cup, and what I have here is actually just steamed broccoli slaw. You can use a 1/2 cup of whatever vegetables that you like. Chopped broccoli, you could use chopped sauteed spinach, you could use zucchini, whatever you want to do. You can even use a 1/2 cup of diced tomatoes if you prefer. This was on sale at Kroger's, and I was able to steam it up really quickly, and it's going to be small enough that's going to pick up a lot of the flavor and simple to eat. Plus I thought it would be pretty. It's got a little bit of the purple cabbage in it, a little slight bit of carrots, which, as we know, if there's a little bit in a mix like this, it's not enough to cause any harm, even though we can't eat a full serving. We can't eat carrots as a complete part of our greens, so keep that in mind. Okay, you can use whatever vegetables you want on this. Okay, on top of this, I have a 1/4 of an ounce of cooked uncured turkey bacon chopped. Uncured turkey bacon chopped. You can also buy uncured chicken bacon and uncured pork bacon. I would recommend using the turkey or the chicken because the pork bacon has a lot more fat, more calories. It's going to take you over the edge with your healthy fats, and you won't be able to use any of the sauce. So, and the uncured is a much lower sodium and has no nitrates in it. This is not something you're going to eat every day on plan. It's still higher in sodium than what you want to have daily. You want to make sure that none of your optional snacks for the rest of the day are incorporate anything salty like the dill pickles. Okay, so this is a little less than 1 slice of the Applewood brand that I bought, but I weighed it on the food scale to make sure it was 1/4 of an ounce. So I'm going to sprinkle that on top of here, and you could leave that off completely and just do another 1/4 cup of the chicken if you would prefer. But for chicken bacon ranch, you gotta have a little bacon. All right. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Our hometown favorite uses mozzarella and cheddar in their toppings. So since I have mozzarella cheese in the crust, I'm going to put the cheddar cheese on top. Sprinkle that on there. I'm going to give another little shake of my Mrs. Dash herb seasoning. I don't know about you guys, but I love seasoning on my cheese on pizza. So this takes that. And then I'm going to drizzle a tablespoon of the Walden Farms original barbecue sauce. It's sugar-free. Our Kroger does not carry any low sugar barbecue sauces other than this Walden Farms, which is no sugar. So if you can find one that's a low sugar, I would recommend just using a 1/2 tablespoon. But if you're using this Walden Farms, it's fine to use a full tablespoon, and I'm just drizzling it on top of the cheese because I like it when it gets kind of baked on there. It's my favorite way to have it. Well, except for when I take my Lloyd's and dip it straight into the barbecue sauce, but we can't do that today. That's a bad habit that we're breaking. So this will give us that flavor of that barbecue sauce. And then this is going to go in the oven for about another 5 to 10 minutes on broil so that this gets all gooey and cheesy on top. And everything on there is cooked, so we don't have to worry about the toppings getting cooked. We're basically browning in the cheese and the barbecue sauce and making it, you know, kind of brown and gooey. I like my cheese cooked. I know not everybody does, but I like my cheese to be a little bit brown on pizzas. So I'm gonna put this back in the oven and I will show you guys a finished picture when it comes out.